think we are live. We're about to be live. Just this way. Okay. We are live. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. It's Lady Victoria with Victoria School of Etiquette, where we offer a solution to your etiquette dilemmas. So broadcasting to you live this afternoon from the great windy city of Chicago. Chi-Town is what we like to call it. You know, we're the best in the Midwest, and we welcome you to our broadcast on this afternoon. It is TidBit Tuesday. How has your week been going? It's been a fabulous week for me so far. I had a great weekend, and I'm having a great week so far, and I hope that you all too. So listen, you all come on in, tag a neighbor, tag a friend, and come on in. It's TidBit Tuesday and Mind Your Manners Monday on a TidBit Tuesday. Missed my broadcast on yesterday. It wasn't the plan, but you know, sometimes life just happens while you're living life, right? And I had a dental appointment on yesterday morning. So I went in for my dental appointment, and I knew that I was going to get a cavity filled. I knew that up front. What I didn't know was that I was going to have a tooth extraction on yesterday. I went to my appointment. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining. I went to my appointment all ready to be in and out of there in about 45 minutes or so, with just a cavity being filled and having to have that tooth pulled. So I couldn't count on yesterday, but I was in a little bit more pain than I would have liked to have been. And then I didn't want to sound like I had a mouthful of cotton, which I did. I had a mouthful of gauze on the right side where that tooth was extracted. So we're combining our shows on today. So you all come on in, tag a neighbor, tag a friend. It's Mind Your Manners Monday on a TidBit Tuesday, and we will address both subjects on today. So I want to talk a little bit first about gift giving. I want to talk about gift giving. Oh, there was one other person. Hold on, let me see. If I can tag one other person that I wanted to add to this broadcast. And if you're on, please don't be shy about sharing your comments in the comment section on below. And listen, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel by the very same name, Victoria School of Etiquette, go on over there and hit the subscribe button so that you have access to all of our video material at your convenience. But we're talking about gifting. When you give a gift to someone, how is it received? And how do you respond to the person that was the giftor? They gave you the gift, and so you are there for the giftee. One of the things I want to discuss came up in discussion on another post. When you give a gift, don't be an Indian giver. And that's what we're going to talk about primarily in the form of gift giving on this afternoon. What does Indian giver really mean? And what does the person mean? What are they insinuating, or what are they saying to the person when they say to them that they are an Indian giver? We don't hear it that much, so much amongst adults anymore, but it is sometimes a common phrase between children at school, on the playground, or if they are at some kind of kid event, where they are playing together, if it's their birthday party, and you're bringing a gift, but the child decides, the giftor decides that they like the gift better for themselves than for the giftee, and they decide later that they want to take that gift back, or in the present moment that they want to take the gift back. Is it appropriate to do that? Is it appropriate among children? Is it something that we just let them get away with? And then how do we as adults, how do we respond to that? Once you give a gift, it is no longer yours. It belongs to the person that you have gifted it to. So if you are the giftee and you don't like the gift, do you have the power, or should you return it? Is it courteous to return it or to exchange it for something else? What is considered the proper protocol in an issue like that? Someone has given you a gift and you don't like it. That's very different than someone giving you a gift and it doesn't fit. It's the wrong size. Maybe it's not really your favorite color. And you want to say to the person that gave you the gift, say to the giftor, is it okay if I exchange this, or should I give it back to you for you to exchange it for a different size, because this size is inappropriate? Well, oftentimes nowadays, today, when you give a gift, the person gets a gift receipt. So when you include the gift receipt in the gift, you are giving that person permission to either exchange the gift, return it, or make whatever adjustment is necessary. That's why you put the gift receipt in there. But if you're just taking it upon yourself and you say, oh, I know what store they bought this from and I don't like it, so I'm going to exchange it, I'm going to take it back, then how does the giftor feel when they come to your home and they bought you something for your home and they never see it displayed? Or they bought you something that you could wear, but they never see you wear it. You never take a picture of yourself and send it to the person so that they can see how their gift is being used. At work, we did a Christmas gift exchange at work with all of our staff, not just the ones that work in the location where I am, but in our other sister home that's at a different location. So the gift I received was from a staff member at that location and not at mine. So I don't see them on a daily basis. I don't see them regularly. It was a beautiful gift. It was something very appropriate for me, something that I would wear regularly. And since I didn't see her regularly, I wore the gift for the first time, and I thought, oh my gosh, she won't be able to see me wear it. Before I wore it the third time, the second time that I wore it, I made sure that I took a picture of myself wearing her beautiful gift, and then I sent it to her so that she could see that I was wearing it. It was something, like I said, very appropriate for me. It was a piece of jewelry that I absolutely loved, and I wear it as often as I can. And she's an older woman than I am, but she was able to pick out a very perfect gift for me. But again, since I don't see her on a regular basis, I made sure that I took a picture of it and sent it to her. And that's not the first time I've done that for people that have gifted me something that I know they won't likely see me get to use it. If it's something for the home, you can take a picture of where it's displayed in your home. If it's a piece of wall art, whatever the gift is, make sure that the person that gave it to you, the giftor, knows that you are making good use of the gift. So the gift receipt is key. If you receive the gift receipt, then the person is giving you permission to exchange it or whatever alterations need to be made if it is the wrong size. If you do that, if you do exchange it, or when you get the right, you're exchanging it for the proper size, you're exchanging it for something else, please make sure you tell the person that gifted it to you. They're still thinking that they bought you a beautiful sweater and you traded it in for a silk top. With a bug flying around. You traded it in for a silk top. So they're wondering why they never see you, and they see each other on a regular basis. Why they never see, I'm sorry, little net flying around. They're wondering why, as often as they see you, you never wear the gift. Well, please explain to them, oh, I'm just using random names. If this is your name, I'm not speaking of you, I'm just using random names, right? So you're just saying, hey, Cousin Mary, I love the gift that you gave me, but it was the wrong size, or it wasn't suitable for my wardrobe. Whatever the reason is, please tell the truth. Please tell the truth. Even if you don't like it, you can find a way to say that it just wasn't suitable for my taste. Do you mind if I exchange it? So you're looking for the sweater, you keep showing up in this silk top, and they're like, that's cute, where'd you get that from? Oh, I exchanged this for the sweater that you got me. It didn't fit well. I didn't have anything else to go along with it in my wardrobe, although you could buy something to go along with that in your wardrobe. There are courteous ways to do that, right? But giving a gift, once you give a gift, you don't take the gift back. You don't take it back. If you are attending a dinner party, a backyard barbecue, and I addressed this, I think, on last week or the week before, that it's always appropriate to bring a gift for the host. So you bring a gift for the host or the hostess. If you're bringing a food item, whether you're bringing cookies, whether you're bringing water, a case of water, I said, whether you're bringing a bottle of wine, a case of beer, if your item does not get used, that is not an indication for you to scoop it up at the end of the party and take it back home to your house. for your family and friends or for your next get together. No, you gave the gift to the person that you gave it to, the host of that affair. And if it doesn't get used at that time, it is still their gift. They will use it at another time. But it is inappropriate for you to come through, you're taking home 2 and 3 plates or what have you, and you're taking back the gift that you gave them. That is poor manners, and it is considered disrespectful. So let's not do that. Please, let's not find ourselves in that position where you gifted someone with something, and then at the end, you're taking it back. Oh, I see they didn't drink my bottle of wine. Oh, I see they didn't eat my cookies. I can take these back home. Now, it's a completely different scenario if the host or hostess says to you, thank you so much for bringing this bottle of wine. Listen, girl, we didn't use it. You are more than welcome to take it back home. Now, I, in an instance like that, would still insist that you keep it. Use it for your next event, or you and your husband sit down and enjoy a glass of wine tonight after you've cleaned up and everything. It's yours. They gave it to you. So I would just refuse. I would decline, rather, to bring it back home. That's proper, and that is a polite thing to do. You don't need to take it back. This is probably where, it's not probably, this is where the term Indian giver came from. And I think I said in my introduction that it goes back as far as probably at least the 1700s among the Native Americans at that time that were already here in America. Can't discover land that's already inhabited by people. Those people discovered it, not the person that was traveling along. Okay, that's a totally different post. Come on back, Victoria, to the topic at hand. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining. So, when Lewis and Clark were on their various expeditionary travels, discovering or being in a new world, it was new to them because they'd never been there, but the world was already, you get my point, right? So while they were traveling along, they encountered the Native American Indians. And being two diverse people that knew nothing about the other, they had to find a way to communicate, and they had to find a way to make exchange of various things. And so throughout their travels, of course, you all know this from your 5th grade history lessons, they made exchanges of fur, pelts, oftentimes food. They exchanged those items to the Indians. But the Indians had a different way of how they gave gifts that was unknown or perhaps misunderstood to the English settlers. They didn't know that, and perhaps it was a communication breakdown. We'll never know, but historically it is recorded that when the Indians gave them a gift, they expected a gift of equal value in return. Gifting someone, not trading. The Indians and the settlers traded a lot. Trading is very different from gifting. So according to the various research that I have done on this subject, it seems that Lewis and Clark were perhaps had a bit of a misunderstanding about gifting and trading. Trading, the Indians said if you trade, that was something very different. And, of course, they expected for there to be some compensation for what they were trading. But, I'm sorry, not the Indians, Lewis and Clark. Of course, that was their expectation. I'm trading you to the Indians. I'm trading you these beaver pelts, and I'm going to give them to you, and you're going to give me back something. The Indians said, hey, I'm giving you corn, and you're going to give me back something. So that was an equal and fair trade. But according to the research, this is what NPR that I am reading from their page, the concept of an Indian gift or an Indian giver traces its roots back to at least the 1700s. In his 1765 History of the Province of Massachusetts Bay, his book, Thomas Hutchinson defined an Indian gift as a present for which an equivalent return is expected. Definition of Indian gift. So if the Indians gave the settlers a gift, they expected that the settlers would give them something back of equal value. Equivalent return was expected. The settlers did not understand their concept of gift giving at that time. They thought that they were always in a place to trade. So during their legendary journey west in 1804, explorers Meriwether Lewis and William Clark often encountered Indians over the course of their travels, of course. Their picture paints a notion of the Indians and their culture in a not really good light, right? Lewis and Clark frequently suspected the Indians of either stealing their belongings or plotting to do so. Gifts in particular, as Thomas Slaughter points out in his book, Exploring Lewis and Clark, Reflections on Men and Wilderness, frequently created problems for the explorers. They did not have an understanding of what the expectation was from them as far as gifts were concerned. So today we have a scripture, and I believe I listed it in my introduction there, Proverbs 4 and 7. Wisdom is the principal thing. So get wisdom. But in all thy getting, get understanding. Get understanding. So I know that there was a communication barrier between the settlers and the Native American Indians. They did not speak the same language. So I'm sure that there was a lot of misunderstanding and misconceptions. The white settlers did not understand the Indian culture. And the picture that's painted of the Indians in that day was that they went out of their way to make themselves understood to the new strangers, foreigners on their land. This was, as far as they knew, this was their earth, this was their land. How many years or centuries had they even been there before the settlers arrived? And so you arrive and you come and you do trade and you do business and you do exchange with them, but then you want to do the ultimate of taking their land, claiming it for yourself, and then saying, oh, well, we'll give it back to you later. But you don't. You can't just take something from someone that already belongs to them and claim it as yours. Now, in their writings, in their journals, Lewis and Clark depicted the Indians as forward and impertinent and thievish. There was really no proof in the portions of his book and the research that I did that the Indians were stealing from them. They supposed that they were. Or perhaps, if that happened, maybe the Indians were taking what they thought rightfully belonged to them because they had already made the gift of exchange with them and had not gotten anything back in return. So I am sure that perhaps, I shouldn't say I'm sure, I would suppose that that was perhaps the position they took. I gave you a gift, you did not give us anything back. Perhaps there was a discussion that went forth to try and help them to understand that this is how it's done in our culture. So oftentimes these misunderstandings come about because there is a misunderstanding in communication or lack of communication, or there is a misunderstanding of the culture, a misunderstanding of the education of that culture and how they do things. So that's why that verse that I threw in here, Proverbs 4 and 7, is so appropriate. You meet people that you've never seen before. You do establish a communication between you two. But how effective is it? I remember, again, I'm referencing where I work during the week. Where I work, we had some new staff to come in, and after being there a couple of weeks, I had my own routine because I was there without any additional staff for quite a while. So I have my own morning routine that I follow, a time that I get up, a time that I go, to take my shower and what have you, and prepare for my day. And after a couple of weeks or so, one of the new staff persons said to me, oh, Miss Victoria, what time do you get up in the morning? What time are you normally up? I can hear that you are moving about pretty early. What time would you like the restroom? Should I make a schedule for us so that it was one person all by themselves, one, and now there are other staff people, so there are 2, 3 people all together. Should I make a schedule for the time that we get up? and the time that the restroom is available. And she said, I'm sorry that I didn't even think about that before, but I'm sure that you have your own routine that you have already established and that you're accustomed to. And she was absolutely right. There was a little bit of interference or a little bit of, overlap in the very beginning. But we got it cleared up, right away. I thought I had said, at the beginning, this is the time that I get up and I'm in the bathroom at this time. But of course they could see what time I got up and know what time I was up by the goings on and the movings about in the household. But getting an understanding, wisdom is the principal thing. So activate wisdom and be wise in the choices and the decisions that you're making and how you're going about your day. But in everything that you're getting, get an understanding. So, modern day today, when you give a gift, it belongs to the giftee, and the giftor does not take the gift back. Again, it's considered rude, and it is also considered very impolite to do so. The other thing that you don't do with a gift, you never ask the person how much they paid for it. When you get the gift receipt, it does not have a price on it. Whatever the gift item is, the tag with the price on it has already primarily been removed before you receive it. So you don't ask the price. That is also rude. It is inconsiderate. Or if you are out and about and the gift that you received, you see it somewhere, it might be at the same store where it was originally purchased for you, it might be at a different store. Perhaps the time that you see the item, it is now out of season, and perhaps it is marked down. So then do you look at it and say, I can't believe she only spent $20 for this item for me. I would never spend that little bit of money. That's an insult to me. Don't become indignant. You don't know how much she paid for it, or how much they made her pay for it. Maybe they paid more than $20. And even if they did pay only $20, perhaps that's what their budget could afford. Just be grateful that you receive the gift. You receive it in grace, you wear it in grace, you display it in grace, and you don't ask questions about its price, about what store it came from. Do you want something from Macy's or Target? There are some young ladies that I've had the pleasure of meeting, younger than me. Some of them have been mentees of mine. They would say, I would never shop at Macy's. It's way too expensive. Well, perhaps it is way too expensive for their budget now. But as they go on in life, as they begin working full-time jobs, after they graduate college and what have you, Macy's may not seem like a big deal to them because then they're making better money. So then perhaps they can afford to shop in a different type of store. So we don't despise small beginnings. If you had a gift that came from Target or you had a gift that came from Macy's, whether it is a brand name item that you're wearing or a store brand item that you're wearing or that you have been gifted with, again, receive it in grace, wear it in grace, display it in grace. Don't give it back. Don't ask about the price. Don't ask what store it came from. Just receive it wholeheartedly, sincerely, and enjoy it. And then when it's your turn, then you can reciprocate and buy a gift for that person or the next person on your list for the next get-together or for the next gathering. So I hope that clears up some misunderstandings perhaps about gifts and about the term Indian giver. So that coin has now been, that phrase, has now been coined, not just into American society, but I know here we use it. There was a time when it was used a lot because I remember hearing it coming up a lot as a child as I was growing up. Oh, yeah, Indian giver. She told me I could have this candy bar and then she took it back. She told me I could have this toy and then she took it back. So that's really what they mean by it, that supposedly the Indians gave the settlers something and then took it back. The reference was made that the Indians gave the settlers their land and then asked for it back. But we know that that's not really a real accounting. Their land was taken from them. I don't think voluntarily gave it up. They only voluntarily surrendered some of their reservation land when our government made them a promise that if you give us this, we will give you that. And probably due to their economic situation at the time, or just due to the pressure of someone just coming in and railroading them and pretty much taking what already belonged to them, they gave in, and restitution was expected, not always given. That is an entire history lesson of another type, so we're not approaching that today. But when you're going to a party or whatever the situation is and a gift is involved, stay within your budget and your means. Don't overdo to impress someone, because you still have to pay the bill later, or you're not paying another bill so that you can do this thing and buy this thing and impress someone. If they aren't courteous enough, or if they aren't humble enough to receive the gift that you're able to afford to give them, then it makes you wonder if they are deserving, truly. So, giving a gift is a hospitable thing to do, and do it graciously, do it in love, and surrender the gift forever. If you like it so much, you can buy another one for yourself. Don't take the one that you've already intended to give to someone else. Okay? If you've had more questions on this topic or this subject, my information is there in the introduction or the header above this live. So please access that information. You can go to my website and you can post a question there. You can also go to my Gmail and just send me the inquiry or send me the question or what have you. Or you can also just join the conversation right here if you have a question about this, if you want more information. I'd be happy to share with you or to answer the question. I want to move now to TidBit Tuesday, because today is Tuesday. I missed the broadcast on yesterday for Monday. So it's Mind Your Manners Monday on a TidBit Tuesday, but I do have some tidbits of information to share with you. TidBit Tuesday is just information that I like to share with you that I think is important, pertinent, or relevant to where we are today. It might be relevant to your life. Maybe it isn't. So maybe it's not for you, but if it's not for you, pass it on, because it's probably relevant to someone else. So, Tidbit Tuesday, I want to tell you a few things about Chicago. Chi-Town is what we like to call it. We are the best in the Midwest, and I want to share a little bit of information with you about our great city. First of all, you know that it is a great city to live in. Now, please, for those of you that are going to respond about all of the things that are going on here in Chicago lately, I agree with you that there are a lot of things going on here. Yes, there's been looting, there's been rioting, and all those things, but it's not only going on in Chicago. So I'm not going to take the brunt for that, and we're not going to say anything more about it. The information that I have to share with you is all good news about this wonderful city. Our city is more like set up in a square. It's very easy to navigate. We have the north side, the west side, the south side, the east side. You have good neighborhoods throughout the city, and then, of course, you have those that might not be so trendy or up to par in the area that you like to live in. Don't live there. Live in another area. Live in another area of Chicago, or go out into the suburbs. Go out into the suburbs areas. But I wanted to show you this information. This from Condé Nast. Condé Nast Travel Magazine. If you've not read Condé Nast, or if you're not a subscriber to Condé Nast, I think it is a fabulous publication that has a wealth of information about places literally all over the world. They have the most beautiful pictures there. They have the most wonderful stories there, Condé Nast. And my subscription should be coming in a couple of weeks or so. So maybe the next time I reference some material, I'll actually have the magazine to share it with you and share some information. But Chicago has been featured in Condé Nast several times. One of the things I found very interesting about Chicago that was noted in Condé Nast, Chicago has been named the best big city to visit or to live in for 3 years in a row running. The best big city, named best big city for a third year in a row. So whoop, 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 whoop. For Chicago Chi-Town, we're one of the best. Another thing that Condé Nast does outside of their travel, and they tell you all the best places to eat when you go to a city, the best places to stay, some of the top 12, 15, whatever things you can do in a city that you are traveling or visiting, or even if you're living in. I've lived in Chicago for most of my adult life, and there's still some parts of Chicago that I've never really truly ventured into. We have, like I said, we have our various sides of town, but we have Chinatown, we have Little Italy, the Italian Village, we have the Ukrainian Village. The area that I am broadcasting from is called Bridgeport. I've lived in Bronzeville. I've lived on the southeast side of the city. It's wonderful. We have some beautiful sites. We have museums and parks and all of those wonderful things, which I know that you have in your city as well. I'm just pumping up the Chi because I'm a native Chicagoan, right? So not only were we named the best big city for 3 years in a row, but we have also been named one of our restaurants here, Au Cheval. Au Cheval. It sounds very French because it is. It is French. So, but the meaning of the word, what does Au Cheval mean? Cheval in French means horse. It means horse. Okay? Like a horse. Horseback riding. Giddy up, giddy up. Yeah, it means horse. But the restaurant doesn't serve horse meat. Okay? I just discovered this restaurant actually earlier today, prepping for my show. But it is on my list of new places to go and visit. Au Cheval has been named to have the best burger, not just in Chi-Town, but in the world. Condé Nast runs these little contests, and they post these things for people to do in their magazine, and people do participate in them. So one of the contests was what burger in your city is the best burger and why. And so they did it in all 50 states. So 50 people came up with the best burger in their city or their state, right? And so Au Cheval was voted to have the best burger, not just by Chicagoans. Now remember, this contest, this thing was run by Condé Nast. It is a World Travelers magazine. And Chicago, we're also considered a tourist city. So we get a lot of people coming in and out of Chicago, whether they're coming for business, whether they're coming for pleasure. We get a lot of traffic in and through here. And so not only have Chicagoans voted Au Cheval as having the best burger in the world, a lot of Condé Nast travelers made the same vote of the same restaurant and the same burger. So it's 2 beef patties, oozing and dripping, as I understand it, with this cheddar cheese. And I think that there's mushrooms on it and onions. And I know the burger itself stands about this tall and it has a knife. See, I can't do pictures when I'm on a live, but the burger stands to be about this tall, and then it has like a steak knife in it, and that's how it is served at your table. So it's supposedly delicious. I will find out, and when I do, I will post a review right here on Victoria's School of Etiquette. I used to do restaurant reviews regularly, but kind of gotten away from that with COVID. Not a whole lot of places you can go and sit down, but you know, things are opening up. But anyway, that is another Chicago thing. Now, who knows Chicago's slogan? This was actually one of my very, very favorite ones when I discovered this one. They had another contest for your city's best slogan. What is Chicago's best slogan? Anybody take a guess at it? It was turned into a song by a very famous singer years ago, back in the 60s. Rat Pack. Does that give you a hint at all as to who it might be? The legendary Frank Sinatra. Woohoo! Chicago, my kind of town. My kind of town is Chicago's slogan. And Frank Sinatra's song is My Kind of Town, Chicago is. You know, you've heard it. My kind of town, Chicago is. My kind of town, Chicago is. And his song goes on to talk about the beauty of the city. The beauty of the city and some of the things. He says Chicago is his kind of town for various reasons. Let me see if I can pull it up again real quick. Oh. But he gave a lot of credit to the city of Chicago for our beauty, for our parks, for our institutions that we have here. So many things. Right now I lost my but I lost my notes. But there were so many things that he gave credit to Chicago for. And one thing I found really kind of funny, he said Chicago is my kind of town, you know, for the stockyards. You all remember the stockyards? We still have them. But they've moved from the location where they originally were years ago. But this song that was sang by Frank Sinatra in 1964, it was written by Jimmy Van Heusen. He was the composer, and Sammy Cahn wrote the lyrics to this song. But Frank Sinatra sang it. My Kind of Town, sang by Frank Sinatra, hit the U.S. pop charts at 110 in 1964. Now, it was the original score was supposed to be for the movie Robin and the Seven Hoods. That was a musical that was out at that time, and it featured several members, the movie featured several members of the Rat Pack. But also in 1964, it was nominated as an Academy Award for the Best Original Song, but it lost to Chim Chim Cheree. Remember that? If you remember Mary Poppins, remember that song? Mary Poppins, Chim Chim Cheree. So it lost to that song. And then it was also awarded or nominated for a Grammy also in 1964. The category was Best Original Score written for a motion picture. Best Original Score written for a motion picture. Nomination, but the award once again went to Mary Poppins, the movie Mary Poppins. So, although it did not win any awards, it won so much popularity. Frank Sinatra also recorded several versions of this same song, as did other artists of his day, and even other artists posthumously after Mr. Sinatra passed away on May 14, 1998. He was 82 years old when he passed away, and he passed away of a heart attack. But I thought that it was just wonderful that that song that he sang wasn't just music to him, but it was real life for him, because he said, Chicago, I'd like to be there. You know, he wanted to be here. And so his song brought a lot of national acclaim, I think, to the city of Chicago. And it's just a little bit of tidbit of information that I wanted to share with you. I know the people on that are music buffs and musical artists and like that. Sir Walter and Miss Beatrice Carter, that sings beautifully for us almost every day. That this is information that I'm sure that they were already aware of, but it's just a little bit of tidbit of information that I wanted to share with my audience on Tidbit Tuesday. So what's your favorite thing about the city of Chicago? What is it that you like best about the city? What is it, the one thing in the city of Chicago that wouldn't make Chicago be Chicago if we didn't have it? I can think of several things. I can think of the Bean. Y'all know the Bean downtown, right? Grant Park. The Bean, we haven't always had it, but since we've had it, it's been wonderful. If you haven't been there, make it a point to get there. You still have time. We're at the end of summer. Fall is on its way, but even in the fall, it's beautiful to go there and to just walk around and see everything that it has to offer. Downtown, on Michigan Avenue, in Grant Park. I think that's one of the things that makes Chicago, Chicago. I think another thing that makes Chicago, Chicago is the variety of museums that we have to offer. We have 2 major zoos here in Chicago, Lincoln Park and Brookfield Zoo. Brookfield is larger than Lincoln Park is, but there's a lot to see and do at both locations. The diversity of our city. I told you before, we have Chinatown, we have Little Italy, or the Italian Village, we have the Ukraine Village, we have, I'm not sure exactly what it's called, the Polish area of town. We have Jewtown. We have so many diverse communities and peoples in our city. And there's always something to do here. There's always something fun to do. There's always someplace fun to go. Even in spite of the pandemic, I would be surprised if we're able to have the Christmas holiday like we normally do. I'm sure that they will still put up the tree, downtown like they normally do. They'll do all of that. But I don't know if the ice rinks will be open this year. I don't know if, I call it Germantown when it comes downtown to Chicago. I don't know if they will be able to come this year because of the pandemic. But if they're not able to come, it won't just be Chicago that's lacking, but it'll be the other cities around you too that are lacking in some of the activities that we're able to participate in during this upcoming holiday season. It's coming up really fast, guys. I mean, we're already halfway through, at the halfway mark of September. So before you know it, Oktoberfest will be going, and then we'll start looking at holiday shopping. Thanksgiving will be here. The turkeys will go on sale and all the trimmings and all of that, and we'll be Christmas shopping and what have you. So it will be an interesting end of the year because it should have started out with a bang, and it has gone forth the way it has. But it's still been fabulous for me. There's a lot of work to be done on the back end. There's some work to be done on the front end too. And so we just do what we have to do, but Chicago is still Chi-Town. We are still the very, very best. I enjoy Mr. Frank Sinatra's version. Like I said, he has more than one version of this song, and other artists have also sang it as well, both male and female. But it's a wonderful song, and I thought it was a nice little tidbit of information to share with my audience on this afternoon on a Tidbit Tuesday. Mind Your Manners Monday on a Tidbit Tuesday. Gift giving and what are the proper protocols to follow. And then this information about our great city. So listen, I am Lady Victoria of Victoria's School of Etiquette, where we offer a solution to your etiquette dilemmas. So if you've enjoyed this, please like and share across your various social media platforms. If you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, again, by the same name, please go on over there, hit the subscribe button, so that way you have access to all of our video material at your convenience. I anticipate seeing you again on tomorrow with What About Wednesdays? And you want to know what it's about? You just have to join us and find out. Thank you so much for watching live. For those of you that will catch the replay, if you're just now tuning in, you want to catch the replay of it, then please do so. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule to do just that. To my YouTube subscribers, this will be available later on today. And I have some exciting news that I want to share with you, but it's just not quite time yet. So I don't want to jump the gun. But Victoria's School of Etiquette, we are on the move and doing some new and improved things and some different things that's going to, I think, enhance your viewing experience and a lot more things as well. So, Lady Victoria sharing all that I have to share with you on today. But until the next time, we'll chat again. Until then, that's bye for now.